Welcome to Big Idea Hardly, where you can learn something new in just a few minutes. Today we study together PeterApps' Deterring Armageddon, a biography of NATO in which we probe into how NATO's strategic evolution has shaped global security and its role in preventing catastrophic conflicts in Europe. PeterApps is Global Affairs Commentator at Reuters, a British Army reservist and executive director of pop-up think tank, the Project for Study of the 21st Century, PS21. Don't go away, Hurdley the editor will be right back with the story. NATO, born from the ashes of World War II, has played a pivotal role in shaping global security and preventing catastrophic conflicts in Europe. This alliance, often seen as a military behemoth, is actually a nuanced and politically complex organization. Its strategic evolution over the decades has been marked by adaptability, foresight, and the sheer necessity to balance the interests of diverse member states while confronting ever-changing global threats. One of the most remarkable aspects of NATO's history is how it has managed to remain relevant and effective despite the myriad of challenges it has faced. From its inception, NATO's core mission was to prevent another devastating war in Europe, a goal that has guided its strategic decisions and military interventions. This mission was rooted in the belief that the horrors of the two world wars should never be repeated. As NATO's first Secretary General, Hastings Ismay, famously put it, the purpose of NATO was to keep the Russians out, the Americans in, and the Germans down. A vivid illustration of NATO's strategic foresight can be seen in the Cold War era, particularly during the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. This was a moment when the world teetered on the brink of nuclear war. The crisis highlighted the importance of NATO's deterrent posture, particularly its nuclear strategy, which was designed to prevent the Soviet Union from contemplating any aggressive moves against Western Europe. The crisis, in which NATO played a critical role in supporting the U.S. stance against the Soviet Union, demonstrated the alliance's capacity to respond to existential threats with a unified front, effectively averting what could have been a catastrophic global conflict. Another significant chapter in NATO's history is its involvement in the Balkans during the 1990s. The collapse of Yugoslavia led to one of the bloodiest conflicts in Europe since World War II, with ethnic cleansing and widespread atrocities. NATO's intervention in Kosovo in 1999, though controversial, was a defining moment for the alliance. The decision to launch airstrikes against Serbian forces was driven by the imperative to prevent further ethnic cleansing and stabilize the region. This intervention showcased NATO's ability to act decisively in the face of humanitarian crises, even when faced with internal divisions and external criticisms. As one official noted during the campaign, "We knew this was not going to be easy, but we couldn't stand by and let this continue." The success of the Kosovo intervention not only ended the violence, but also reinforced NATO's role as a peacekeeping force in post-Cold War Europe. The post-9/11 era marked another significant evolution in NATO's strategy, particularly with its involvement in Afghanistan. For the first time in its history, NATO invoked Article 5, the Collective Defense Clause, following the terrorist attacks on the United States. This marked a major shift in NATO's operational focus from traditional territorial defense to counterterrorism and nation-building. NATO's mission in Afghanistan, which lasted nearly 2 decades, was fraught with challenges, including insurgency, corruption, and the complexities of Afghan politics. Despite these difficulties, NATO's presence in Afghanistan was crucial in preventing the country from becoming a safe haven for international terrorists. The mission also underscored the alliance's ability to operate outside its traditional geographic boundaries, adapting its strategies to meet new global threats. These stories from NATO's past illustrate how its strategic evolution has been shaped by the need to address both traditional and non-traditional security challenges. In each case, NATO's actions were guided by a desire to prevent catastrophic conflicts and maintain stability in Europe and beyond. Whether through nuclear deterrence during the Cold War, humanitarian intervention in the Balkans, or counterterrorism efforts in Afghanistan, NATO has consistently adapted its strategies to meet the demands of a changing world. A crucial element of NATO's success has been its ability to foster consensus among its member states, despite their often divergent national interests. The alliance's decision-making process, which requires unanimity, can be slow and cumbersome, but it has also ensured that all members have a voice in shaping NATO's strategic direction. This consensus-building process has been key to maintaining the unity and cohesion of the alliance even during times of intense geopolitical tension. NATO's adaptability and strategic foresight are perhaps best exemplified by its response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The invasion marked a dramatic escalation in hostilities between Russia and the West, and NATO was once again called upon to defend the principles of democracy and territorial integrity in Europe. NATO's support for Ukraine, through military aid and strategic guidance, has been instrumental in helping the country resist Russian aggression. This conflict has reinforced the importance of NATO's presence in Eastern Europe and highlighted the alliance's role in deterring future acts of aggression by authoritarian regimes. Through these examples, it is clear that NATO's strategic evolution has been driven by a combination of historical necessity, geopolitical realities, and a commitment to preserving peace in Europe. The alliance's ability to adapt to new challenges while staying true to its core mission of preventing catastrophic conflicts has made it one of the most successful and enduring military alliances in history. As the editor of Hardly, through learning these strategic lessons, we can foresee a future where collective defense mechanisms will need to incorporate not just military, but also cyber and economic strategies to counteract evolving global threats, ensuring peace and stability in an increasingly interconnected world. In reviewing NATO's strategic evolution, it's evident that the alliance has been a cornerstone of global security, effectively preventing catastrophic conflicts in Europe. From its Cold War deterrence strategies to its more recent interventions, NATO's adaptability and foresight have been critical in shaping the stability of the modern world. One of the most striking stories illustrating NATO's impact occurred during the Berlin blockade of 1948 to 1949. In response to the Soviet Union's attempt to cut off all ground access to West Berlin, NATO orchestrated the Berlin Airlift, a massive operation to supply the city by air. For over a year, NATO forces flew more than 200,000 flights, delivering food, fuel, and other essentials to the besieged city. This operation not only demonstrated NATO's logistical prowess, but also its commitment to defending democratic enclaves in the face of Soviet aggression. The success of the Berlin Airlift was a defining moment for NATO, proving its ability to unite its members in the face of a common threat and reinforcing its role as a protector of European stability. As we conclude, the lessons from NATO's history remind us of the importance of maintaining a united front against emerging global threats. By understanding the strategic decisions that have shaped NATO's past, we can better anticipate the challenges of the future and ensure that this vital alliance continues to safeguard peace and security in an ever-changing world.